Welcome back to Mr. Haunting. Christmas is supposed to be a time of joy, family, and warmth. But for some people, it became the darkest night of their lives. Tonight, I'll be sharing 5 true Christmas horror stories that will change the way you look at the holidays forever. Turn off the lights and let's begin. Sarah was 17 years old when this happened, living in a small suburban neighborhood in Michigan. It was Christmas Eve, 2015. Her parents had gone to her aunt's house to celebrate with relatives, but Sarah had decided to stay home and finish wrapping presents. Snow had been falling heavily since the afternoon, and by 10 p.m., the neighborhood was completely silent. Sarah sat in the living room with the glow of the Christmas tree and faint holiday music playing on her phone. Around 11:30 p.m., she heard something unusual, the crunching sound of footsteps outside in the snow. At first, she brushed it off, thinking it was a late-night neighbor, maybe someone shoveling. But the sound didn't fade away, it got louder. Slowly, deliberately, the footsteps circled around her house. Sarah froze. She peeked through the curtain, and her stomach dropped. A tall man was standing in her backyard, completely still. He wore a dirty red Santa mask that covered his entire face. His head was slightly tilted as he stared directly at her window. Her hands trembled as she grabbed her phone and dialed 911. While whispering to the operator, Sarah heard another sound. This time, the slow creaking of her back door handle twisting. The man was trying to get inside. The operator told her to hide until officers arrived. Sarah locked herself in the upstairs bathroom. For 10 agonizing minutes, she heard movement downstairs, soft thuds, as if boots were slowly stepping across her living room floor. Finally, red and blue lights flashed through the window. The sound stopped. Police searched the house, but the intruder was gone. They only found boot prints leading from her backyard into the woods. To this day, the man in the Santa mask was never caught, and Sarah swore she never spent another Christmas alone. The Johnson family had lived in their old farmhouse for years. Every Christmas, they brought down dusty boxes of decorations from the attic. But in 2003, they found something new, an ornament they had never seen before. It was a cracked porcelain face, pale white, with hollow black eyes and a faint, eerie smile. The family thought maybe it had been passed down from grandparents, so they hung it on the tree. The first strange incident happened that night. Their youngest son, Danny, woke up screaming, claiming the ornament's mouth had moved while he was staring at it. His parents comforted him, insisting it was a nightmare. But the next night, Danny swore he heard whispering coming from the Christmas tree. Things escalated quickly. The father said he once saw the ornament tilt its head on its own. The mother woke up at 3 a.m. to the sound of faint, childlike laughter coming from the living room. When she checked, the ornament seemed to be facing a different direction than before. On Christmas Eve, just after midnight, the family was awoken by the sound of glass shattering. They rushed into the living room to find the ornament smashed into pieces on the floor. But as they stood there in shock, all of them heard the same thing, faint whispering coming from the empty branches of the tree. Terrified, the Johnsons threw away the entire box of decorations the next day. They never found out where the ornament had come from or why it appeared that Christmas. But Danny, now an adult, still refuses to have a Christmas tree in his own home. It was 2012, and Jason, a college sophomore, had just come home for the holidays. His parents went to bed early, but Jason stayed up late, lounging in the living room and scrolling through his phone. Around 2 a.m., he heard something strange, the faint creak of the back door opening. Jason froze, listening. Then came footsteps, slow, deliberate, moving across the kitchen floor. His first thought was that it was his dad, but when Jason peeked into the kitchen, his heart nearly stopped. A man dressed in all black was crouched beneath the Christmas tree, carefully cutting open wrapped presents with a knife. Jason's body locked in fear. The man's movements were calm, precise, like he had done this before. Jason grabbed the nearest thing he could, a lamp, and made a noise. The intruder immediately turned his head, his face partially covered by a ski mask. For a moment, their eyes locked. Then the man bolted, sprinting out the back door into the freezing night. Police later confirmed that multiple houses in the neighborhood had been broken into the same night. The burglar was never caught. Jason still remembers the intruder's eyes, cold, unbothered, as if he wasn't scared of being caught. It wasn't just robbery. It felt personal. In 1998, a group of teenagers in a small town decided to go caroling on Christmas Eve. It was freezing outside, and most people only opened their doors briefly to listen. But at one house on Maple Street, an elderly man welcomed them warmly. He wore an old reindeer sweater and invited them inside, saying it was too cold to be standing out. The house smelled of cookies, the fireplace crackled, and Christmas lights glowed beautifully. The group sang 2 songs while the old man clapped along. Afterward, he thanked them, handed each a cookie, and wished them Merry Christmas. The next day, as they passed the same street, they noticed something strange. The house they had sung in front of was abandoned. The windows were boarded up, the lights gone. Confused, they asked a neighbor, who told them. That place has been empty for years. The old man who lived there died on Christmas Eve, back in 1995. The teenagers never forgot the warmth of that house, or the taste of those cookies. Emily lost her brother David in a car accident just days before Christmas. The following year was her first Christmas without him. She spent the evening quietly, avoiding festivities, feeling the weight of grief. At 11:45 p.m., her phone rang. She almost dropped it when she saw the caller ID, David. Her hand shook as she answered. At first, there was static. Then, through the crackle, a voice whispered faintly, "Merry Christmas, Sim. I miss you." Tears ran down her face as she whispered back, but the line went dead. Checking her phone later, she found no record of the call. The phone company confirmed there had been no incoming calls at that time. Every year since, Emily leaves her phone on Christmas night. She never received another call, but she keeps David's number saved just in case. These were 5 terrifying true Christmas horror stories. While most of us remember Christmas for joy and laughter, for others, it is forever marked by fear, loss, and the unknown. This is Mr. Haunting. Until next time, stay haunted